Hello everyone, my name is Marcus. I'm half of the collective for Splitfilter. I want to welcome you to our first video for the Splitfilter YouTube channel. We're a small group of designers, instructors, and photographers. I'm an avid photographer myself. I have shot in the past professional corporate photos, headshots, landscape, architecture, cityscape, street photography more or less. As you can see, our platform ranges various points of our travels and stuff that piques our interest. And I want to kick off this channel by being a little honest about my shooting habits. There's a backlog of raw photos that I've shot in the past, and I'm using this platform or extending this platform as a form of motivation to get me through this backlog of all the photos we've previously taken from trips we've taken or everyday photography and whatnot. So that being said, one of those factors that tend to hold me back is, as we all may know, it's software development of the software for editing these images. And one of the biggest players in the game per se is Adobe with Photoshop and Lightroom. Matter of fact, going through photography courses in the past, my very first college course in photography was with Photoshop. So digital photography was with Photoshop. That being said, Adobe has gone not to say out of their way, but the cost is going up. You have a monthly, yearly subscription. They hide, from what I hear, the way to means to cancel it or not use it any longer. There may be fees associated with just leaving their ecosystem. And speaking of ecosystems, Apple has picked up a new software company or group called Pixelmator, and that has piqued my interest. So Pixelmator is a one-time purchase, and they've been supporting this software for quite some time, from my understanding. And I picked up the suite, and want to step away from Adobe for as long as possible. One fee for software, one-time fee for software is the way to go, I think, in my opinion. Certainly, if they're continuously developing it, and being that Pixelmator was picked up by Apple, they've indicated there's no plans to stop supporting this software. So even though I'm a little late to the party, I think it's a good time to get involved. We as customers and professionals of our craft and field, not to say we're expert per se, we're always learning. The dollar is where the strength is. So I would like to back, a developer that has a track record proven and is innovative in several aspects and facets of photography and art, motion picture, and some aspects as well. So Pixelmator Pro is the equivalent or in kinship to Adobe Photoshop, as Photomator is in kinship to the Lightroom. So if you would like a one-to-one or close enough comparison, this is it. So today we're going to jump into Photomator and take a look at some of the projects that I've gathered over the years. And we're going to start with a weekly, the goal is a weekly curling or drawing down a large stack of photos to 6 to 8. At the end of the month, we'll select which one to print. I'm going to do my best to listen to your feedback and recommendations as to what should be printed. If you know a good print lab that is very cost effective for 11 by 16, if not larger prints, please give me a heads up so we can start looking at printing the larger prints, as I'm hoping to do so. So the backlog. So for backlog wise, that's from something else. Backlog wise, we have a large offload. So some of these projects that you see on the screen by dates range from way back in the day till today. So we're gonna go through and pick out some projects from last year alongside this year and older. I would like to start making large prints for around our home. The walls are ready to go per se. So the project for this week, maybe this month, depending on how the editing goes, is Chicago last year. Yes, sneak peek. Yes, we are doing Ireland. We did Ireland last year, so there's gonna be some photos from Ireland that we will be editing. So in Photomator, you can import from your photo library, your iCloud Apple photo library, but because it's designed to work alongside the Apple ecosystem really well. But for us today, we're gonna import our photos directly from our library that are just displayed by clicking the plus button and then select which folder you want to import. So not gonna do that. We already have our files. We're gonna crow based on flagged, rejected, and then from there we're gonna draw them down by stars. I always start with the middle 3, and then whatever is good to go, we'll push into 4, 5, and then we should have 5 to 6, maybe 8 photos depending. Okay, so things that are quick, easy, editable, or catches the eye, we should be able to print. So to flag a photo, we use the ZXU to start 0 through 5. So for this one, we're gonna go with X. This one, we're gonna do a Z. Z on this one, I think as well. Let me blow them up a little bit. So bear with it. These are large files. We're moving 100 megs or more, so bear with them as they load. I think I already flagged that one as let's move it forward. I think I preferred this one. Yep, this one's good to go. Yeah, we're gonna say no to that one. The Chicago Union Tribune ones. I think I'm gonna skip the Chicago Union Tribune photos. Yeah, we'll skip those ones. I think just quickly looking at these, let me see if I can make them a little bit bigger. Yeah, here we go. Move the slider a little bit higher. So as I can see, large screen and whatnot. This one is the most usable, I think. So I'm gonna go with Z on this one. We're gonna flag that one. We're gonna X this one. X this one, X this one as well. X this one. Not really feeling this one on the right. This one either, this one either, this one either, this one either. I like this co-working, it's not a co-working space, but it gives you the vibes of a co-working space, or more or less a cafeteria, like a tech company. I really like this one. So it's a co-marketplace per se, if you want to call it that, but it's several restaurants that shares, it's like a market that shares one eating area. It's cafeteria style. So we're gonna actually keep this guy. Not this one, not this one. The Vespa, for sure we're keeping that one. I really like this crane photo, not so much this one, not this one. Water tower is cool. You don't see that many of those hanging around, so I'm gonna keep that one in the background here. Don't know what was that going on there. I'm gonna skip this one. Gonna skip this guy. Skip this guy. Well, I really like that little greenhouse. I think yep, there it is. I really like this one right here because contrast between brick building and wooden structure. That's cool. I'm gonna skip this guy. Skip this guy. Skip this guy. Skip this one right here. skip this one. So as you see the phone booth, this is part of another project that I'm working on covertly in the background. So we are gonna keep them, but not for this edit. So we're not gonna flag them. We're just gonna keep them as is. Not this one. Not this one. I really like this photo, all black building, but we're gonna skip it. This one's really like. I like this the delineation of lines and whatnot. With the Starbucks, gotta always have coffee, so I'm gonna skip all of these actually. All right, so you might have seen this photo right here. It's from a previous post on our Instagram, so I'm gonna keep it. It was a quick and easy. Add a filter, adjust the sliders, boom, we're out. We're gonna fix you a little bit better, so we'll save it. All the Starbucks are gone, so we don't really love espressos. The Chicago Starbucks Reserve, if you're in the area, trust me, try it out. It's really good. All right, so of the flag photos, the 54 images, we have 12 to pick from, to work with. So we're gonna go through and edit a couple of these, just go through the process with me, see how I edit my photos, and if there's any feedback or information or kudos, please leave them in the comment. We'll go ahead and iterate on those. If not, make some adjustments. So let's see, the ones I would like to really work on are these two right here. So I'm gonna start with the crane, for sure. The crane, I like this sky. I like the contrast of the red, the colors of the bricks as well. So let's go ahead and turn on the adjustments, editing per se. So baked in to Photomator is machine learning. So it's gonna use machine learning data to make edits. So for instance, the white balance, let's turn that on and see what does it look like, and turn it off, right? So in Photomator, you have the photo without edits. You can click on it and whatnot. So there's no edit per se right now. So if I turn on machine learning, oh, it's after we make the edits. So let's go ahead and keep it as is right now. That's fine. Let's adjust the exposure. I already did a little bit of adjustments earlier. So let's reset everything. Boom, right here. This is the original. So with machine learning, this is what it would look like. Not bad, but we're gonna keep it as is. So for exposure, we're gonna push the exposure just a little bit so we can get those red bricks, a little bit more life. Highlights wise, we're gonna bring it down. I want to see some of them clouds. The cloud details are back. For shadows, we're not gonna push them too much because we don't want to get too much crunch, because we already have a little bit of crunch happening in the shadows, but just enough to delineate or make a little bit of juxtaposition, more or less, to it. Next, we're gonna adjust the brightness just a little bit. No, I'll bring it down. Yeah, there we go. Remove some of that crunch noise a little bit. Contrast. Just want to separate them enough. Black point. Push the black points a little bit. That's what it looks like. Yeah, not take away too much. Alright. How are we looking overall? Okay. So for the highlights and texture, let's see what we can do for clarity. Not too much. We don't want it to look like an HDR photo, but we can definitely push more on the texture. There we go. All right. So next things first, let's do some color balancing. For highlights, push it a little bit, but there we go. For midtones, fine, we're gonna leave it, reset it, go back. Okay, just a bit down. Shadows, reset it as well. Not too bad. So we're gonna fix that without the slider because it's affecting it globally, as you can see. So we're gonna reset that, and we're gonna add a layer. But this one is gonna be a linear grad, and we're gonna flip it, move it, and then squeeze it just a little bit right there. Boom. Okay, cool. So for this layer, we're gonna push the exposure just a little bit. There we go. Just okay. So that's fine. We don't want to lose the bottom of the brick here, because if I push too hard on it, see how the bottom right here. Bottom right here is getting a little bit too much. So what we're gonna do is draw it back just enough to keep it red. Okay. And then we want to do the highlights. Pull back on the highlights a little bit more. Push the shadows just a slight. Bring down the brightness a little too bright. And for the black point, contrast, too much contrast. I'm gonna leave it down here. Black point, push. There we go. I want it to look down here in this bottom right corner. So for the black point, we're just gonna bring it up a little bit. Clarity, slight, along with a little bit of texture. Okay, we're doing all right. Not too bad so far. Yeah. As you can see in the window paneling, we're gonna reset this completely. Just a little bit, just enough. Okay. So it's bluish. We don't want it to have that weird tinting color. So I'm gonna just draw it down a little bit as far as intensity of it. We're gonna put another linear grad on here, but this time, this linear grad is gonna affect the left-hand side. I'm gonna bring this over here, crunch it a lot. Here, so I might want to turn it just a little bit. Okay. Exposure, there we go. That's what I'm looking for. Perfect. Okay. So we're gonna go back to the raw file. And then we're gonna click on the crop. And we're gonna straighten it out a little bit. A little bit more. Freeform, perfect, all right. And then click done. Voila. So this is our photo. We've edited. If we want to see before, here's the before, here's the after. The before, the after. I think we did pretty well in this one. So the second photo I want to edit today is the Sears Tower. I'm not sure if it's no longer called the Sears Tower, my apologies. But as an infant or growing up, it was always called the Sears Tower, so my apologies if it's no longer called the Sears Tower. So we're going to go through the same process. Let's check out the white balance. Ooh. I actually like the gritty blue a little bit more darker hue, but what I can do is learn from that machine learning and just push closer just enough for that building. This building right here is a little bit more distinctive from the blue. Okay, so reset it. Machine learning to 21. I think 18 was where we had it. 14 is where we're going to keep it. Going to push the exposure just a bit. Bring down the highlights. Oh, we got a little bit of a cloud. We can pick them up on the sky. Just not grayed out. Just enough to get texture. Push the shadows a little bit. Brightness come down so we get the glass, but it's starting to give us a little bit of vignetting. Push the contrast a bit. Black point. Texture, we can work it. We don't want to go HDR-ish. It's kind of clarity. Not too much. We want to keep the clouds around and just to show that there's more details in the background. Okay, we're gonna come back to this a bit. So we're gonna turn the grain. Bring it up. Down. I'm gonna turn that off actually. Alright, so next what we want to do is add a select sky. No sky selected. Okay. We're going to have to brush it in. We can come back in and fix this as much as possible a little bit as we transition over to got a perfect tool for this. Bring out my weight column here for this a little bit. Brush size, adjust this to be smaller. And clean this up a little bit after. We're just going to get a general understanding and adjustments. Let's make this a little bigger. And we're going to come back in a bit here. But for now, let's just get this part in. Okay. Time to clean up a bit. I'll clean that up in a bit here as well. Okay. Eraser. Erase all this. And then we're gonna zoom here a little bit. it up a bit here. Okay, so I'm going to zoom out. Okay, and then switch the brush to add to the mask. Alright, so I think we're looking pretty good here. Alright, so this is just a quick adjustment. So we're going to include exposure. No, we're going to reset this. And then we're going to expose. Just turn the exposure just a little bit down. Oh, zoom in a bit. There we go. And then just the brightness, just down. Shadows, push it a little bit. See what it looks like. There we go. Not too bad. We don't want to crunch. That's crunching for me. So we're going to go up a little bit. Bring down the brightness. Not too bad. Increase the contrast so we can discern them. Black point down. Down. There we go. Texture just enough to say there's some texture right there, but not too much on the clarity. You want to keep as much of the sky as possible. Or clouds, per se. Okay. Alright, so nothing too fancy on this one. I think we are looking really well. Really good. So before, after, before, after. We have a little bit of work to do on this one, but I think we are doing well. Not too bad. I think it's a little muddy. Let me go back a bit and black point. No, black point's fine. No, that's fine as well. There we go. That's what it is. All right. Just want to go. Okay, much better. Much better. I think we might need to clean the mask a little bit along the side of the building, but we'll get there. All right. So once again, before, after. Looking really good. Good. We're going to save that. Click done. Here we are. So we have a few more to work on. We'll get to it together. And by the next video, solid video, we'll have at least 5 to 6, maybe 8 photos that are solid. And then following that, we'll go into the individual edits into the Pixelmator Pro application. Thank you for being here. If you have any comments, feedback, please do provide them in the comment below. I want to give a solid shout out to Joseph Slinker, whose channel will be added to the the comment section or description section. Please visit their YouTube. Great presenter, great instructor, really well set up regarding Pixelmator softwares, and I've used his video as a good insight as to getting into the software, transitioning from the Adobe suite. Hope you guys have a great day.